Yo, what's up, gamers? I'm just here to do a quick, not even a review, but just share a game that I really like, that I've been putting a lot of time into, and it's a relatively new game. And if you like anime, you've probably already heard of the solo leveling anime, but there's also a game called Solo Leveling Arise, and it's an action art. I would call it an action RPG gacha game. um, it's a lot of fun. So in this video, I'm just gonna kind of go over a quick highlight of the game and like some of the features and game modes and things like that. And if there's like more interest like in me making advanced guides and covering like builds and strats and things like that, then like just drop a like on the video or a comment on the video. I've never asked for anyone to drop likes or comments on my videos, because I just kind of do this as a hobby because I'm a fucking gamer and I like this game. So you know, I'm just hoping that you know maybe someone else would like this game too, especially if you like the anime or if you like action RPGs or whatever. So with that being said, let's not waste any time and let's get into it. Oh, and one more thing. It does look kind of crappy because I'm using like my phone and like an adapter, but the game looks way better on when you play it normally. And it is multi-platform, so you can play it on Android or you can play it on iOS or you can play it from the Netmarble launcher, Netmarble PC client, or I think there's a Steam. I think this Steam you can play it through Steam client as well. Um, and the game runs the best on PC. Obviously, it runs really good on PC, and the graphics look so good. But when I tried to stream this game with OBS on PC, for some reason, it wouldn't. It would just show black screen. I don't know if it has something to do with their built-in anti-cheat code like add-on or something, but I tried streaming this game through the computer, and it just did a black screen. I don't know, and I don't want to dick around with it. So with that being said, let's get into it. Try not to do too many spoilers if people are new to the franchise or solo leveling. So the anime is on Netflix. You can check that out. So starting with the first thing that I like about the game is the game covers the anime and the manga. So literally, whether you've played the anime or not, manga or not, or if you're interested in it, um, when you play through the story mode, you literally get the same story. It literally follows the story in the anime. So it does it in multiple ways, like this, for example. It shows it in a comic book form stuff, but it also has some like voice acted um, cutscenes and stuff as well, and everything is voice acted, and the game is in English. Uh, so yeah, that's one of my favorite features about the game. When I seen the anime on Netflix, I loved the anime, and I was like, oh, but I want more, I want more, I want more. Well, the game actually gives you more than the anime does on Netflix. It could, because it follows the manga, so it actually takes it further than what's currently out on Netflix. So if you're a fan of the series and you've only seen it on Netflix and you don't read the mangas, like this is a cool way to see the rest of what's going to happen and get into the story and all that. So that's one of the cool things I like about this game and the reason I started playing it. And then it's got like this is I'll show you like a typical mission real quick. It's got two features. It's got manual play, so you can fully auto, or you can fully auto. I mean, and again, this is not a deep dive in all that kind of stuff, but it's got manual, auto, and semi-auto and stuff, and you can dodge and evade and do combat's pretty decent, is what I'm trying to say. But if you're like playing at work or whatever, or you're just farming some stuff, like you can put the game on auto and let the AI play, right? So there's like some of the gameplay right there, right? And there's different kind of missions. Some missions uh, are Sun Jin Woo himself, and some missions are Sun Jin Woo with hunters supporting him, and there's some missions in game modes that are hunters only and not Sun Jin Woo. So kind of like what is it? Genshin Impact. you know how you can like have three characters? You could have three hunters and you can switch between them and they have different abilities and you can swap them in and out and pull off combos and do things like that. So it is an action RPG. It's not like turn based or nothing, but so that's like story mode. And again, you can see all the chapters and you'll actually get a lot of information. So those people that really want to dive into the story, they have these um, side chapters here that, again, even more than the anime, they go into extra stuff that you wouldn't see on the anime. So you could even get more backgrounds on the characters and the story. So if you definitely like the anime, it's literally like playing through the whole manga and you get an even more in depth than the anime does. Um, so yeah, and there's like hard modes, and there's also like reverse stages and things like that. So that's like the story mode, right? And then you have your like typical like farming stuff. So if you want to do gear, actually before I get into that, let's go to the Hunter Archive. So a Hunter Archive is based on all the hunters that are in the series, right? And there's a couple original hunters that have been out released by Netmarble, and they have their own backstories and all that. And the Hunter Archive is cool because what that does too is you can take like your favorite character and you can go through there and actually learn more about that character and get some more side content and more information about the character and whatnot. So if you want to learn that, there's more content and more story driven content and stuff too. So you can learn about that character, right? And your favorite hunter and this and that and the third. And you get rewards. You also get rewards and stuff for doing that and completing that. And you get like a free costume and stuff for them. So that's kind of ties into the more story mode aspects of the game, right? And then you have like some other gates. Gates are kind of like things you do daily to get rewards. And again, this is not a guide. So I'm not gonna, if people are interested, I'll make a whole beginner's guide in how to efficiently play the game and how to like best spend your time. But I will say to do all the dailies in this game, because there's also events like Halloween events and half year anniversary event, because the game is fairly new. To do all the dailies in the game, it takes about 1 hour to do that. So it's not like it takes all day, right? So it takes about 1 hour to complete all the dailies and quests and missions in the game. But there's gates, and you can do those gates. If you don't know shit about solo leveling, gates are kind of where monsters spawn, and it's up to hunters to defeat those monsters, to close those gates so those monsters don't like leak out into the world and whatnot, right? But yeah, going back to the modes again. So there's like mini bosses, and that's where you kind of farm your gear. There's different mini bosses, and so it's not stale. So it doesn't get stale or boring. They rotate. See how it says 3 days and 21 hours left? They rotate like once a week. So the monster or boss you will be fighting rotates, and then that particular boss or whatever will have different weaknesses. So you can build your team accordingly. And that's how you farm for your gear. See all the gear sets here. There's like lots of different gear sets, and they all have set bonuses and do different things. So you can build your character kind of however you want to build your character. Like if it's a support character, you use a certain type of gear. If it's a DPS character, you use a certain type of gear. If it's a tankish character, you use a different kind of gear, right? Or a breaker character. So in this game, there is a break bar kind of mechanic, like a lot of games have, that you want to damage their break bar, because when you get their break bar depleted, they get stunned and they'll take more damage once you break their break bar or whatever. But so yeah, that's where you farm from your those encore missions and instance missions. You farm those daily. They do have some keys, so you can only do so many of those a day. There is ways to get more keys for free, so you can do more of those a day and get more gear a day. And and one thing I've heard to go to story mode, there is no stamina in this game. So that's another cool thing about this game. There is no stamina. So if you want to like play through the whole story or do something a bunch of times, for the most part, there's no stamina. It's only certain things like farming gear and stuff that have keys, and you only get so many of those keys up there a day, right? But you can buy more keys if you want. And there is currency shops where you get more keys from events and other stuff that don't cost gems. Like they don't cost real currency. They like for from doing gates, for example, um, you get mana stones and you can buy more keys. So it's really free to play friendly. I have a couple of accounts in this game, not just one. This is my main account, but I have a couple accounts in this game, and mine I spend a little bit of money on, and the other ones I don't, and they're still really close in count in power and whatnot. And so it's really free to play friendly. There's a gotcha system, like I said, but this game does a couple things different with their gotcha system, which is not greedy and which I really like. So this is like the current character that's on banner, and it takes these tickets to pull for her. And let's say, for example, you have FOMO, right? Or you missed out on a character that was out. Then they typically will have a second banner. Like this character was already released before, but if you didn't get her, now you have a chance again to pick her up. And what's even better is there's another banner that uses different tickets here. And these tickets are a lot easier to acquire. And you can even make a wish list. So you have a rate up on specific characters. So if you're trying to get dupes of characters or you're trying to get a certain character, you can put those on your wish list and they have a higher rate up. And the way the pity system works is, see this pity system here, how it says I'm 60 of 80 draws. That's the pity system. So you're guaranteed to get an SSR before you get to that 80 draw. And let's say, for example, it's not the main character. So like if you're pulling for this character and you you do pulls and this builds up, and let's say, for example, you get an SSR at 30 pulls in, right? Which is just three 10 pulls. If it's not her, that means the next SSR you pull will be her. So the pity system's not that bad. So even if you get completely cucked on luck, every other SR is guaranteed to be the featured SR. Or in this case, every other SR. So say, for example, I'm pulling on this banner. If it is not one of the 4 characters that are on my wish list, rate up list here, that means the next SSR I pull will be one of those characters. So that's pretty cool. And also with the wish list, they're constantly updating it, right? So say, for example, May right here, the one that says popular. She's one of the best DPS in the game. And say, for example, you didn't get lucky or you didn't pull her or whatever, you skipped for one reason and you regret it. So after a character has been out for like a month, they add it to this system here. Then they'll add those characters to this system. So there's not like a character that, like, if you didn't pull on it, then you're just shit out of luck, right? Like it will show up on here and then you will be able to add it to this banner and start pulling for that character again, which is really fucking cool. Because, you know, I know a lot of gotcha games, limited time characters and blah 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 blah, spend your money and pull because they're not going to come back or whatever, right? So it's not like that. Once a character's been out for like a month, if you didn't get it, it'll end up on this banner and then you can put it there and you start pulling for it and get that character. So basically what I'm trying to say is the gotcha is pretty friendly. And it's not, there's no limited time characters that if you don't get them, they're gone forever. So that's pretty cool. And they even added a new banner that uses different tickets. So if you're trying to pull weapons specifically, you can pull on this banner. And that's great because I've played a lot of gotcha games like Genshin Impact, for example, where you're trying to pull that character, and you see that SSR or whatever, and then it ends up being a weapon and you're like, right? So it's cool that they separate that kind of stuff. So if you're trying to get weapons, you can. And if you miss out on a character, no worries, because they're either going to be featured again or they are going to be added to that big pool where you can put them on your wish list and get them again. So I play a lot of gotcha games. It's one of the most free to play friendly gotcha games. Like, yeah. One of the only thing that really costs money mostly is like costumes and stuff. So like it's not like spending money will get you more like cosmetic stuff is what I'm trying to say, but it's not really pay to win. Like basically everything in this game you can get that a whale can get. It just might take you a little longer, it might take you a little slower, So like the second a character comes out, a whale can probably max it out the first day, right? So, but the game gives you definitely enough free currency and all that stuff for you to get the character and then pull more copies of it, as time progresses and build it a little slower. But so you're still going to get that character and you're still going to be able to get dupes. It's just like if you want to whale out and spend a bunch of money, that's up to you. That's totally fine. But if you're not a whale, you can still get those characters and build them up and get them to whale status. It's just going to take a little longer than it would take a whale. That's the only difference. Like, so it's not pay to win at all. It's like if you don't pay a bunch of money, you can't compete. And with that being said, it's mostly a one-player game overall. So they did add a guild system recently, and that is the only type of multiplayer interaction content. But even with the guild system, you don't really play with other players. This is my guild beast mode. We got 50 of 50 people in it. What you do here is you fight a guild boss, and it's very interesting. And you get ranks based off the guild boss. So if you look at the rankings here, I'm only 5th in my guild. There's people in my guild that are stronger than me with higher scores. I'm only 5th. And it's cool because when you fight the guild boss, you actually get to bring 9 hunters. So there's a lot of strategy that you can build. You can build certain teams and do all kinds of cool, fun stuff there, right? So there's a guild system so you can have friends in there and work together to get more points and acquire extra currency, guild currency, to buy some stuff. Like there's some guild only weapons that you can get in here, like this spear. So I already bought those for the week. That's why they're grayed out. And you can get some guild buffs, so you can buy those. So they give you a whole buff for a week, making you stronger, giving you more XP, giving you more gold, things like that. Another game mode is like power of destruction. So again, this is the only time like whaling stuff comes into play. You basically kill this dragon with 2 different teams, and you get a high score, and it puts you at a rank. And again, the only difference is if you're a whale, you're going to be in the top standings, but you still get rewards whether you're a whale or not. So again, you're not going to be missing out, or it's not something you can't compete with, or something that you can't get if you don't spend a bunch of money. You're still going to get rewards and all that kind of stuff. And then they have the brilliant workshop of light. So that's kind of so players that are looking for more of a challenge. You basically get these enhancement stones here that go in your characters. That is another way to power up your characters. And this starts getting a lot harder. And is more of a challenge. And this is the newest one that came out. For example, I've only done it on easy, so normal's unlocked for me now. And I haven't finished normal yet. And it shows you right here like an estimation of the power level you would need. But for example, this guy, you cannot auto this guy. There's actually mechanics. So if you don't like the type of game where you can just auto through everything, and you want to use your brain, and you want to do mechanics, and you want to dodge, and you want to interact and play that engaging combat, you cannot auto this guy. There's just certain mechanics that you got to dodge and do and all that. So this is where the challenge and stuff comes in. But again, it's real free to play friendly, right? Because they have multiple levels. So it's like, okay, maybe you can't beat them on hard, but you can beat them on easy, and you still will get you will still get these stones or whatever, right? So, and another thing that's really free to play friendly, and let's say for example, the game's been out for like half a year, so it's still fairly new. So here's a good example, right? In the story mode, let me back up here one second. For your shadows, there was a new shadow that was recently released, and it's this dragon back here. It's Kaizel from the anime/manga, right? And to unlock Kaizel, you had to be at least on chapter 20 or whatever of the story, right? Well, the problem was chapters 20 on the story was pretty far towards the end, right? And some of these stages here, notice the power up here where it says you need 290,000 power. Well, that used to be like 500,000 power. So what they did is they nerfed it and cut it in half. So let's say, for example, you're a new player and you're trying to get Kaizel. There's no way you're gonna be able to have 500,000 fucking power to do that shit and get Kaizel. So they kind of go back and nerf content down accordingly. That way, any new player jumping in can still participate and still get to chapter 20 and beat chapter 20 and unlock Kaizel. So that's one of the things that the devs do. They stay on top of it and they look at the game difficulty and they start nerfing stuff so that way new players aren't like, hey, I'll never freaking get Kaizel, or it's going to take me 6 months to get Kaizel because these are just too hard. Well, they adjust the difficulty because they know there's newer players coming in and they want them to be able to participate and get those things too, right? And with that being said, don't think that them nerfing it takes away the challenge because, again, there is still some other content in other hard modes. So, like if you look at this, for example, this hard mode I'm on, this takes 600,000 recommended power to take down. So they do a very good job of making the game accessible to newer players, but still having stuff that is a challenge for veteran players as well. Again, this is a prime example. Easy here. You can do this with 300 to 400k power, but if you wanted to do hard, well, I can't even show you that because I haven't unlocked it, but as you see, you go to normal, that power ramps up at, ramps up significantly, but the rewards are almost ultimately the same, right? So it's very new player friendly, and they always have events. So I'll show you that right now real quick. Right now we're running the Halloween event, and there's a Halloween event that has some mini games, and it has a full-on story mode too, so you can actually lore out and see some of your favorite characters, celebrate Halloween, and go through all these stories and get some nifty Halloween gear, and get some nifty Halloween weapons and stuff. And they update these events like constantly. And another thing I wanted to share is real quick that just reminded me is the gacha system, again, is not greedy, like I said earlier. So look at this character, for example. She came out, I want to say, a week ago. It was the week of Halloween, so like the Tuesday or Wednesday before Halloween. And if you look down here, she still has 17 days left. So again, you have 17 days to work on pulling her. Well, in total, you basically have almost a month to work on her and build her up and all of that. And whenever a new character is released, they have corresponding events for that character. Like this, for example, where you can, again, this is all free. You just do missions and you get these tickets, and then you spin the wheel and you get these little currencies. And what do these currencies do? They let you go to crafting and craft her best in slot weapon with those tickets. So again, very free to play friendly. Whenever a new character is dropped, they give you like a month. So you're not like, oh shit, like there's a new character every other week, I can't keep up, blah, 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 right? Like shit that other very greedy fucking money hungry fucking gacha games do, right? So the gacha system is really forgiving, and the game is a lot of fun. There's so many different modes, so many things to do. There's time trial things in here to do. There's certain things that reset weekly. There's certain things that reset monthly as far as the content goes. So again, there's always something new to do, so the shit doesn't get fucking stale, and it's never boring, and there's plenty of stuff to do, and they're always adding more content. And that's why I really love and enjoy this fucking game, dude. I'm not getting paid at all by Netmarble for this fucking video, but I enjoy this game and I love it, and I think it's really fun. And some of my games that I like playing, well, I love the anime, so I watch the anime on Netflix, and that's what shit, was it on Netflix or did I watch it somewhere else? Now I'm kind of tripping, but I forget where I watched it. I might have just put it on Plex. I don't remember, to be honest. But anyways, I watched the anime, and then I found out there was a game for it, which is called Solo Leveling Arise, the game itself. So it's called, the anime is Solo Leveling, but the game is called Solo Leveling Arise. I'm not getting paid a fucking penny for this shit, but I like this game, and it's really fun, and it's basically the only mobile game. It's one of the mobile games that I play the most, like, every day. So I just wanted to share a video and touch some of the high points of the game and why it's fun and why it's not cringe or greedy, and just get the word out there to, to see if any of their players didn't know about it, or they like the solo leveling franchise or anime or manga and maybe didn't know there was a game out there, or maybe you're just looking for a new mobile game to sink some time in and have some fun and play. So that's all this video was about. Again, if I get some likes in the comments, uh some likes or some comments in the video, asking for stuff, I'll be more than happy to make another video with some guides. You can see here's some of the hunters and the way you can customize and build them. Again, there's different sets. So like this expert set gives you different bonuses versus this set gives you different bonuses, and you can kind of mix and match them. So you could run a 4 set of this if you want, or you could run the whole 8 set to get this. And the characters have like their best in slot weapons, which again you basically get for free when the character comes out, because there's events that give you free copies of the weapons just for playing the game and doing dailies. Oh, and don't worry about being confused about what to do if you're a new player, because if you're a new player and you're playing this game, the best thing to do is go to these challenges right here, and this basically guides you through how to progress in the game. So basically it'll say like, hey, do chapter 1 and you get rewards. Hey, do chapter 1 mission 2 and you get rewards. Hey, level up your Sun Jin Woo stats and you get rewards. So just following these objectives not only help you get stronger in the game, but they're all the stuff you would want to be doing anyways, and you're getting free rewards. Like, look at that, level up a hunter 10 times. Well, you're going to do that anyways, because that's how you progress and you get rewards. And the daily system is also the same way, right? Like, so this daily system right here, all these dailies, they're all the kind of stuff you would want to be doing to progress in the game anyways. So like, attempt an artifact enhancement 10 times. That basically means level up your gear, right? So you're going to want to level up your gear. So just by doing the dailies and by doing the objectives, you're going to progress and you're going to get stronger and better at the game just by doing those dailies. So it's really well designed, because it's not dailies that are just chores. They're dailies that effectively you would want to be doing anyways, or dailies you're going to do anyways just by playing the game. So even if you don't look at your dailies and you play the game and like level up your characters or do farm some gear, you're going to realize that those are the dailies. So you're going to complete those just by doing the stuff you would want to be doing anyways. And that's what this challenge thing is right here that shows on the screen, right? That says challenge, clear chapter 18, episode 13 on hard. And again, so you have that little challenge section right there that basically keeps you on track of how to progress in the game. So if you're a new player or you do start playing this game, just follow these challenges. That's the best advice I can give, because they are going to help you naturally progress your account and get stronger. But it's a really fun game. I enjoy it. Again, you can auto it if you're at work or watching TV, or you can turn off auto and fully control the combat and all that stuff. So I don't know, it's a really fun game, and I freaking play it every day, and I love it. And I love the anime and the series, and just for that alone is warranted enough to play the game, because like I showed you, you can go through all the chapters and it's all voice acted in comic book form and cutscenes as well. So you can actually get a deeper dive into the world and manga of solo leveling by just playing the game itself, which you can't even get in the anime because it hasn't caught up. So if you're a fan, I recommend checking out the game. If you're just looking for a new RPG to play, action RPG, I recommend checking out the game. It's one of my favorite games right now. So I just want to make this video to outline some of the stuff so you get an idea of what the game is all about. But yeah, just drop me some comments or a like or some questions or whatever, and if I get any traction on that or whatever, I have no problem making a game guides, and I have no problems. I have cheat sheets like that outlined the best way to build characters and the best way to build up your Sun Jin Woo and all that stuff. I have cheat sheets for all that, so I don't mind sharing all that content with you guys. So yeah, try it out, check it out, let me know what you think. Deuces.